Hey guys, get ready with me as I talk about entering my winter arc and what I'm going to do in order to obtain it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use this NYX Clear Supreme Brow Sculpting Wax to wax down my eyebrows. So the winter arc is something that is usually started in October, and it is all about motivation and motivating yourself to obtain your goals for the rest of the year. It's kind of like a New Year's resolution, but instead of having that disappointing connotation that comes with New Year's resolutions, it's all about focusing on yourself for the last 3 months of the year so that you build that foundation for your New Year's resolution. The reason why the winter arc is so appealing to me is because I do believe that personal growth and a personal growth journey is something that takes time. It's not just something that you can check off a list like New Year's resolutions usually are. And so that's sort of why I'm really dedicated into creating my winter arc so that I can have a good foundation for 2026. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Tarte Double Duty Beauty Primer, and I am going to put that all over my face. And I don't necessarily think I'm going to fill in my eyebrows today. I think I'm just going to go for a more natural look as I talk about 2026 and what I want my winter arc to be for this year. So the first thing that is important about a winter arc is making a list of all of your goals and what you want to achieve. So that's what I did, and it really did help my planning out and my plotting out what I want. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer Natural Skin Perfector, and I'm going to put that all over my face. This is something that I have been trying to just get rid of because I don't like how oily it makes me look. And part of the reason why it makes you look oily is one, it's a moisturizer, and then two, it's an SPF. So yeah, tried it, dyed it, didn't like it. So I believe that creating a list of what you want to accomplish in general is helpful so that you don't go into things blind. And that is why I highly recommend sitting down and really planning out your journey and what you want. So the first thing that I really want out of my winter arc is more fitness. So I love being fit. I love feeling healthy, but as somebody who has 2 jobs, it is really hard to create that time and space in order to do so. And so what I have been trying to do is I have been trying to wake up early before my first job and go to the gym. That involves me waking up around 5 or 6, going to the gym so that I can really have that time to myself and really focus on my fitness journey. What I really want out of my fitness journey is to be more toned. I know I'm just going over my problem areas and putting more of the moisturizer, the tinted moisturizer on them. And I'm going over my neck because I don't think I put any on my neck. I think that fitness is something that is usually on a lot of people's to-do list when it comes to either having a better winter arc or having a New Year's resolution. And so that is something that I'm definitely focusing on this year. So far, I have been able to really up my gym visits in the winter. I will say, like, in the summer, I wasn't going to the gym at all, which isn't the best. But I'm really focused on creating a healthier me at the moment. Next, I'm going to take my Fenty Beauty concealer. And I'm going to just dot my eyes with it. And I might just like highlight my nose and my other things that I want highlighted. Next thing that I'm focusing on in my winter arc is my pageant journey. So I love to compete in pageants. Pageantry is something that really just helps me with my self-expression. And so I'm really focused on my pageant prep this winter. And pageant prep looks different for everybody, but I want to make sure that I am in a pageant. I want to make sure that I am in a pageant session at least once, a pageant coaching session at least once a week, just to make sure that I am going over various things in my journey that I could improve on. I think that we all have one thing in our lives that we want to educate ourselves with, whether that is you're getting coaching for a sport or you're going to like a Pilates class, right? And pageantry is one of my things that I want more coaching on. So I have this plan of doing pageant coaching sessions once a week, alternating each week with either interview or walk. So far I have completed one interview session and I have a walk session scheduled, and I am going to sign up for more because that's just where my timeline is right now. Especially there is a Black Friday deal that I just saw on Instagram that I want to take advantage of. Next, I'm going to take my Revolution translucent baking powder. I'm gonna pour it into this old Laura Mercier compact so I can actually use it, because this is like the worst packaging ever. And then I'm going to set my face. I know baking is like not popular anymore. People don't do baking anymore, but I do, because I just feel like it's necessary. The next thing that I'm focusing on is my budget. So I am a spender. I probably spend more than I take in, which is just the opposite of what you want to do whenever you are saving for things. And so I want to be able to look at my net worth and see that it's positive versus negative. And that is something that is hard to do when you have a lot of loans. So I have a lot of student loans because I have a bachelor's of arts in psychology and a master's of arts in clinical mental health counseling. And obviously with all of that schooling comes a lot of debt. So I want to make sure that I pay it off. Right? I also have a lot of credit card debt, which is something that a lot of Americans struggle with. And it's unfortunate, but things can be done about that. So with me having my second job, I really want to focus on funneling my second job's income into my debt, and then funneling my first job's income into my savings and hopefully seeing how that works and how that helps my financial security in the future. Especially because I have certain goals that are tied to certain debts and I want to achieve them. Also because pageantry is expensive and I want to be able to pay for that without stressing about the other things that I have to pay for, like student loans or my credit card. So yes, budgeting is my next winter arc thing that I am focusing on. My next winter arc thing that I'm focusing on is my hobbies and making sure that I pay attention to them. So I have a lot of hobbies. I'm somebody that is sort of like grandma core and sort of collects hobbies on a day-to-day basis. So I want to be able to spend my free time reading books because that's just something that I really love. And I actually have a book haul coming up soon. I'm doing my makeup for a book haul that I want to film. So watch out for that. But yeah, reading books is something that I definitely want to get back into. It's something that I used to do a lot growing up, and it's something that is hard to sort of keep up as you are a working individual who just graduated grad school, right? Like grad school took a lot out of me. I stopped reading in college because I had to just focus on reading all of the required text. But yeah, I want to change that. I want to be able to read more. So I'm gonna have a goal of reading at least 10 pages a day. And with that, like usually what happens is I end up reading more because I get stuck in the book. But I think 10 pages a day is a good goal to have just so that I'm upkeeping my love for reading. Next hobby that I want to really focus on is crocheting and yarn work and just doing stuff with my hands, like creating stickers, like art in general. I think that art is such a great way to express yourself, and it's something that I really enjoy as I am de-stressing from my jobs. I did Fenty Beauty, loop, loop, loop. And then I did Laura Mercier for my powder. And I'm doing Black Opal for my contour. But yes, art is just like a great way to express yourself, and it's a great way to de-stress, and it's something that I love to do. So what I find myself doing is I will be knitting or crocheting as I am watching my shows and doing things that I love. And that's honestly the best bet for me. It puts me in such a great mindset, and it really just makes me feel warm and cozy. And I would say the last thing that I really want to focus on in my winter arc / moving into 2026 is looking presentable. So I must confess, I am, if this would open, that would be great. It's the L'Oreal Paris Lash Paradise. That just goes to show you what I'm even trying to talk about right now, which is like not wearing makeup and not really looking presentable or to my best. I haven't used this in a minute, so it's just like not opening. God, what is going on? Okay. So I must confess, I'm the type of person that will sometimes roll out of bed, you know, take a shower, maybe do my morning routine, like going to the gym before I take a shower, etc. But in that process, I won't really put any effort into how I look or how I present myself. So I'm the type of person growing up, I would be late to high school, like my first period or whatever that they call it. Because I would be like making sure that I had my makeup on for the day. Like that was just who I was. I still got straight A's. I still have 2 degrees. It doesn't matter anymore. It was physics. I don't use physics in my life. But nonetheless, that's just who I was. Like I loved dolling up. I loved getting ready. And now I find myself not really doing that anymore. So some of my winter arc that I want to do is just doing little things that I can do to be a little bit more presentable, whether that is just making sure I put on some mascara, making sure I put on some lip gloss, or even just some concealer and then going. I think that whatever I can do to sort of make myself feel presentable will help me feel better in general. Especially because I work at a job, unfortunately, that requires me to wear a uniform. So at my previous jobs, like wearing business casual things and like wearing like cute dress up clothes was like my way of making myself feel presentable. And now that I work at a job that requires me to, oh, my tripod. That requires me to wear a uniform, it like sort of took that away from me. So I really do want to make sure that I express myself in other ways, just so that I can feel a little bit more myself in the day-to-day. And I feel like this wouldn't be an issue if I just didn't work at a job that like required me to wear a uniform, but here I am. Okay. If I could not drop it, that would be great. I'm wearing Anastasia Beverly Hills in Rust Matte Lipstick. And I'm gonna go in the middle with something else. L'Oreal Paris in Unending Kiss. Then I'm going to use my Fenty Beauty lip gloss in Hot Chocolate to really tie it together. Best lip gloss ever. But yes, so my first job requires me to wear a uniform, which sort of strips me of my identity, I will say. And then my second job does not. So just being presentable with like wearing makeup at my first job, or really expressing myself with my fashion at my second job, is something that I really want to do in my winter arc. So that is really it in terms of my winter arc. I will say I'm going to set my makeup with 3 different setting sprays. So the first one is Urban Decay All Nighter in Glow. Second one is, ooh, this tripod sucks. I need to go buy one. Airbrush Charlotte Tilbury. It doesn't have it on there. So I was like, what is this? This is Charlotte Tilbury. And then the next is the Morphe Continuous Prep and Set Spray. So I usually start with this one. Middle. And some glow at the end. So that is it. Basically, I look like a glazed donut. Probably should have filled in my eyebrows, but I didn't. Let me know what you are going to do for your winter arc. I'm so excited for this journey. I think that, you know, just having goals and having an idea of what you want to do with your life is so essential, just so that you're not walking through the world blind. So I'm so excited to hear what you guys are going to do for your winter arc, and I will talk to you guys later.